Hi guys, you're welcome to today's video and you're welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome to the Lola Joseph gang. I'm Lola Joseph with no makeup. And if you're just meeting me for the first time and you've not subscribed yet, what are you even waiting for? Subscribe and be an official Lola Joseph gang and don't miss out on all the fun things. I'm telling you, everything fun in life, you definitely find it here on my channel. So in today's video, we're giving the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Desire Eyeshadow Palette a try. I've never actually reviewed any eyeshadow palette in my channel before, so this will be the first video. So what should we be looking for in a eyeshadow? What makes a good eyeshadow before we even dive into the Ultimate Desire eyeshadow palette? What really makes a good eyeshadow? I believe what makes a good eyeshadow is that it has to be pigmented. It has to have less to no fallout, meaning it shouldn't be too powdery, and also it has to be long lasting, so long wearing, and it also has to be very hydrating as well. It needs to be very nourishing. So that is what makes a good eyeshadow. So we're going to put all that into test in today's video and see if the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Desire eyeshadow palette is actually worth it. So we're going to be swatching and we're going to be wearing it as well along with the swatching, and I'll let you know how I feel, and please do let me know how you feel in the comment box below. So don't let me take too much of your time. Let's just dive into it. All right, so welcome back. I've got a palette here with me. I got mine in stripped khaki, but I'm going to give you more details about the eyeshadow, and I'll let you know. It's not yet opened because I like to show my first reaction, because that's where honesty really is, to be honest. So this is how it looks like. It's a eyeshadow of 9 pans with a lot of shimmery metallics and some mattes as well. So we're going to be opening it and we're going to be swatching it. But before we move into all that, what's the information about these gorgeous eyeshadow palettes by Makeup Revolution? So according to the brand's website, which is Makeup Revolution, the information that I found that is that it's a eyeshadow palette. It's an eyeshadow palette that range. Oh, sorry. Let's start again. So it's eyeshadow palette that range a selection of 9 shadows in standout mattes, foils, and shimmers for those must-have day-to-night looks. So it comes in 3 range, which means in a collection, the Ultimate Desire collection comes in 3 types. There are 3, and the first one is called Jewel Fixation, which is more like a purpley kind of eyeshadow palette, and the second one is the Stripped Khaki, which is more like a khaki green kind of eyeshadow palette, which is the one I got, and the third one is in the bronze, Into the Bronze, that's the name. So the third one is Into the Bronze, which is more like a warm brown kind of eyeshadow palette. So this eyeshadow palettes, the color stories, they are much more appropriate for autumn winter season. So it's something that I believe would be a cult find, and they are very pocket friendly. So again, what are the other information about this gorgeous eyeshadow collection? The information is that they are all pocket friendly palettes, like I said earlier, and they are a must-have addition to your makeup collection. It retails for $5.99. So it retails for $5.99 at Makeup Revolution. I got mine in stripped khaki, and I love the color story just because I believe that it's a color story that goes well with autumn winter season. You know, khaki green, orange, and all that kind of stuff. Those are the color that goes well with the season, with the new season. So, and I also believe that it's a great eyeshadow palette for any special occasion and for everyday use, and it ranges from light to dark. So I love that. So that's what makes a good eyeshadow palette as well. It has to range from light to dark, so that for everyday use you can create like a very soft glam kind of makeup look, and for like a special event and so on, you can go smoky and so on. So that's what makes a good eyeshadow palette as well. So what other? So we're going to swatch it now. I'm going to open it and we're going to swatch it. All right, so for the pan, it's like I said earlier, it's a pan of 9. It's for the palette. The palette is a pan of 9, and according to what I found out here, they don't really come in any name. Usually each pans come with their various names, but this one only come numbered. So we're going to swatch them according to the number. So I'm about to open it now. And this is how it looks, opening it up. So I'm going to swatch it now. So according to the brand, it should start from 1, 2, 3. So number 1 is more like a rosy, bronzy kind of so rose gold. That's the swatch for number 1. And number 2 is more darker, and that's the swatch. And number 3 is more like a beigey kind of color tone, and that's the swatch. So number 4 is more like a green, metallic green. That's the swatch. And for number 5, we have something like a pinky, a dusty rose pink kind of color tone, and that's the swatch. And then we have number 6, which is like a metallic gold, like a rusty gold. So we have number 7, which is also like a dark color tone, but we're looking into like the first dark color tone is more like a chocolatey brown, and this one is more like a black brown, also brown but black brown, like a neutral black brown. So that's and that will be number, what number is it? Number 7. So we're moving on to number 8. Number 8 is also matte and in khaki green as well, and that's number 8. And then we have number 9, which is more like a neutral brown. We have number 9, and these are all the 9 pans and how they swatch. All right, so with what I can see here, the pigments are fair. They're very, it's well pigmented enough. And except the green, is a little bit finicky to me, but the matte green, the metallic green looks a little bit chunky. I'm not sure if you notice. A little bit chunky, it's a little bit chunky, while the matte green is not as dark as I expect. Although the dark, which is the dark brown and the chocolate brown, they're very dark, very pigmented. So which can mean sometimes, I like the rose gold as well. The dusty rose is good enough. The metallic version of the dusty rose is a little bit too light for me. It's not as pigmented as I expect. But to be honest, when it comes to color, according to with my own little knowledge, I just believe that sometimes some colors they don't actually they're not as bright, as pigmented as you expect. I don't know. I don't understand why. Probably in the lab when they're mixing it, or they don't work well with other ingredients when making the eyeshadow palette. But anyway, so I'm going to wear it now. Take you through my makeup routine, and when it gets to the stage where I'm going to be wearing the eyeshadow, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know my final thoughts, because this is my first time opening it as well, and I don't even know how I feel about it yet. Apart from this metallic one is very chunky. Oh, it's not bad. It's like a little fallout. The rest are not so bad. Then I can't sense any fallout in the rest, other than this metallic one, which is meant to be creamy, but I think it's a bit dry. That's probably why it's falling out. So, which is this green metallic one. So anyway, let me put on the rest of my makeup, and when we get to the eyeshadow we can talk more. so I'm about to go in with the eyeshadow now. I'm about to apply it. So what I'm going to do, I'll be starting with this beige, which is number 3 in the pan. I'll just use it to create like a base, like a clean base for the rest of the eyeshadow. So let's go. Oh yeah, I'm using my eyeshadow pen. It's a brush, sorry. So my eyeshadow brush is from Shein, and I'll definitely link it for you below should you be interested in buying it. I'm doing the same thing to the other eye now. That will create like a matte, like you're trying to give your eyeshadow a clean base. Oh, it's really cool. I love that. The colors will show up more, and there will be less what's it called? Is it cakiness? Cakiness the right word? Or wrinkling? Yeah. All right. So I've done the base. So for the next application, using the same brush, I'll be using like the Dusty Rose. I'm trying to use that as like a transitioning base for the metallics and so on. So we don't know what color I'm going to go for, but let's keep going. So I'm using these Dusty Rose color tone as another base. So they call it a transitioning base. So it's like creating like layers on your eyes, on your eyelids. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I usually start with the outer corner when applying my eyeshadow, because it sort of gives you the kind of control you need. Because usually on the outer side of the of your eyelid, it's kind of a little bit, it's always very darker. So when you start with that, if you go heavy-handed on the eyeshadow powder, you would have more control with that. If you know what I mean, I'm sure that makes sense. So I'm doing the same thing to the other eye. All right, so for the next application, I think I'll go with the green, just because it's autumn season. We're still in late summer, but we're transitioning into the autumn winter season. So just because it's autumn, in celebration of autumn, I'm going to go with the green, and I'll be starting with the outer corner as well, just to create like a dark to light kind of gradient on the eyelid. And don't forget, blending is very important when it comes to application. So blend at every stage. Well, like I said from the swatching, I told you the green color tone, which is what number is that again? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number 8, which is number 8 pan in the palette, is not as pigmented as I would like it to be. It's probably a pale color tone. So we just have to make do. And I'm going to also use it like a simple transitioning layer for the next color. So I'm going in with another layer now, so hopefully to add a little bit more dark depth to it. And if you notice my hands, I'm not going all the way on top of my eyelid. I kind of go in like a layered form. So the beige stays up, the Dusty Rose stays the next level, and then the dark green goes on as another lower level. So that's how you create like transitioning gradients onto the eyelid. And I'm sure this is a proof there's fallout. A lot of fallout. It's very hard to find eyeshadow palettes that does not have at least a little fallout, but there are a few luxury options out there that I've actually seen, and I think they actually called the pressed pigment eyeshadow palettes. Most luxury brands go for that because they have less fallout, and also the ones that use powder, is it mica or talc for the eyeshadow palettes, some of them according to what I found out is that each pan were not it's like they're not really well pressed, so because of that it results in fallout. But whatever the case may be, what makes a good eyeshadow palette is when there is little to no fallout, even when applying it, you know. all my highlights, they're all messed up with the green color tone, and I'm gonna have to use my concealer again to tidy it up. So watch out for these. There's a little bit of fallout in it. All right, so I'm done with the green. So I'm going with this one, which is number 4 in the pan. It's the glittery kind of a metallic. They're known as topaz, but you know, I'm not using it. It's just so chunky. Can you see that? It's like if this goes on my eyes, it's just gonna fall over all over the place. So I'm just gonna go light-handed on it and take extra care. But the good thing about this glittery one is that they're so pigmented, and they kind of beam more, which makes you kind of have fun with your eyeshadow palette. So let's go in and see. I use my finger to apply the metallic just because it gives you more control, and you kind of get more color payoff when you use your finger. So as you can see, the glittery one, which is more like a shimmer, like a very shimmery kind of metallic, is also gorgeous if you know how to manage it. But be careful, it's going to have a little bit of fallout. So just go light-handed and then take your time to layer it up. So that's the only advice here. So see that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tidy up the edges using this the dusty rose color tone, just to, you know, tidy up any missed point and any chunkiness, whatever it is. Tidy it up, and I'll come back. All right, so the next color that I'm going to go with, I was going to leave it at this point, but because the green didn't really perform that much, it's not as dark as I want, so I'm going to go with this darker color tone, which is the chocolate color tone, and just to add a little bit of smokiness to the eye. So I'm going in the outer corner. So which usually should be the final step before the metallic. So it should be the applying the darker color tone should be the final step before the metallic. But just because this is very pale, it didn't do as much as I want. So I'm gonna go in with this one just to balance it out. So we just have to be careful at this point. I'm doing the same thing to the other eye, and don't forget to blend. So I'm going to do the same layering underneath the eyelid. So I'm starting with the beige. Let's start with the beige just for fairness. Usually you don't really need it for under the eye, but there's nothing wrong with it. And then I'll be going in with the dusty rose. And note, I'm also doing the layering on these under the eyelids. So the final step would be the dark color tone. So I'm just gonna place this one right on top of my eye, like my waterline, just to add a little bit of darkness to the eyes, to open up the eyes. Alright, so that's done. So what I'm going to do, just to tidy up the fallout and all the mess, I'll just use my concealer, just a little dab my sponge on it just a little bit, and then use it to tidy up the edges, just like this. Alright, so this is the eyeshadow look from the few color tones from each band. Okay. And this is how it looks like. And I think it's very fair. It's not so bad. It's also, according to the brand's website, the brand said that the eyeshadow palette also contains mineral oil, and mineral oil are very common. It's very common in children's baby oil and so on, to prevent dryness, patch skin, and so on. So that's definitely there. It's definitely hydrating. but there are fallouts. You can note that, and the color tones are very pale. Not, it's pigmented in its own way, but I believe the color story is a pale color story because it's autumn winter season, and when brands are launching eyeshadow palettes and so on, or lipstick, they go for like a pale color tone. So that's probably the reason why it's not so loud, which is very understanding. Although I expect a little bit more darkness from the green, just to use it like a use it as a smoky eyeshadow palette if I want to create like a greenish kind of smoky eyeshadow look. So I wish that, but it's a pale. I believe it's a pale color story. It's a very pale color, so I believe that's the best we can get from it. So autumn winter season color stories pale. They're always very pale. And this is the finished look. It's not so bad. It's definitely hydrating, and it looks like something that will be long lasting as well. So I'll probably wear it throughout the day and let you see how it wears with after a few hours. What's the time right now? The time is about 12:15 UK time, which is 12:15 noon in the United Kingdom. So I'll wear it throughout the day and see how long I can actually carry it for, and I'll let you see what it's actually finishes at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup, and we can chat a little bit more. Alright, so I've put on the rest of my makeup, and this is how it works with some other makeup products. It's not so bad. It will get the job done, definitely. Although expect some fallout. It's not drying. It's definitely hydrating. And let's see if it's going to be long wearing. I believe it's something that will be long wearing as well. So I'll wear it for the rest of the day. I've shown you the time. I'll see you later. All right, so welcome back. This is what's the time now? 5:05, which is kind of end of work day here in the UK. Lots of oil, but the eyes are doing so great. This is like a 5-hour wear, and it's not so bad. So it's something you can wear to work, you can wear to parties and so on, and you'll still be fine at the end of the day. By the end of the day, I've not touched up, so let me touch up a little bit, and let's see how it's going to look like after touching up. So I'm just using my my finishing powder just on the T-zone area. And I'm also going to apply my liquid lipstick gloss, the newest addition to my makeup collection. And this is how it looks like after a little touch up here and there. As good as new, right? So you can still go like for another 5 hours, which is like 10 hours, and you'll still be fine. The eyeshadows is just so much in place. I can't believe it. It's so, so beautiful. It's a cult find. I'll definitely recommend it to you. The Ultimate Desire eyeshadow palette. They come in three. I got mine in stripped khaki, and you can also opt for the other options as well. It's all up to you. I really love it. I've told you all my pros and cons, how I feel about it. They're all pale. They're all pale color story, which is kind of the kind of color story we celebrate in autumn winter season. And the glittery one, which is the shimmery one, is also very good, in as much as it's a little bit there's a little bit of fallout. At the end of the day, it's not drying, it still stays on, and that's the only metallic on these eyes. It still stays on. And there's also the satin silk option as well, although very, very faint, but they will also perform the same. They'll also do a great job as well if you put them on for soft, say for a soft glam and so on. So I'll definitely recommend it to you. One of the best on the market, and very, very affordable. I mean, it's drugstore. It's a drugstore eyeshadow palette, so it's something that it's so manageable, especially in months where you want to really save a lot of money, and you just want to, get something that is so affordable and manageable for the month. I'll definitely recommend it to you. So I'll link it for you below should you be interested in buying it. The link will take you directly to the store. And then what more? And that's it. We've come to the end of today's video. I hope I didn't take too much of your time in today's video. Please don't forget to comment and like this video if it has really helped you one way or the other. Image courtesy goes to Makeup Revolution. Image courtesy goes to Makeup Revolution. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.